Hello again, welcome to class 1062. All right, Ronnie Perkins. ¿Qué hacemos con Ronnie? El bueno de Ronnie. ¿Tiene salvación? Is there salvation for Ronnie Perkins? I don't know. I think Ronnie's father, Nigel, is going to need to step in. To step in. To step in. To step in. Eso es la arena. To step in means to intervenir. To step in. That means to step, dar un paso dentro de la arena. Y torear. To step in. I think Nigel is going to have to step in. All right. Ronnie Perkins. Yes. Nigel, el padre, Nigel Perkins has just formed a new company called AMY Limited. Sociedad Limitada. AMY, A-M-Y, Limitada, o sea, Sociedad Limitada. Nigel Perkins has just formed a new company. El verbo formar, se dice mucho formar una compañía. To start, se dice to start, to form a new company, to create a new company. Se dice menos create. Se dice más form and start. Nigel Perkins has just started a new company. Nigel Perkins has just formed a new company called AMY Limited. The initials stand for Atlantic and Mediterranean Yachting. Okay, yachting es un viajes en yate. Yachting es un deporte. La vela. Yes, Vela Mediterránea Atlántica. Atlantic, so AMY, A-M-Y stands for. Yeah, to stand for es cuando dice lo que significan siglas, siempre decimos stand for. La OTAN stands for Organización de Tratado del Atlántico Norte. NATO. NATO stands for North Atlantic Treaty Organization. CCOO stands for Comisiones Obreras. UGT stands for Unión General de Trabajadores. Yes. CETO stands for Southeast Asian Treaty Organization. Wow. The OAS stands for Organization of American States. In español es Organización de Estados Americanos, OAS. And of course, then we have the OECD. The OECD, which in Spanish is la OCDE. You know what that stands for? No? All right. The OECD stands for Organization of Economic... I can't remember what it stands for. Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development. Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development. Organización para la Cooperación y Desarrollo Económico. O económicos. All right. The OECD, there are about 35 countries belong to the OECD, including Spain. Spain is a member of the OECD. And what do the initials, iniciales, decís aquí siglas, solemos decir initials. What do the initials stand for? Okay, they stand for Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development. And RV? What does RV stand for? Well, RV. RV stands for two things. Richard Vaughan and recreational vehicles. If you go to the United States, if you fly to New York and you rent a car and you drive, RV, everywhere. RV, it's not me. It's if you're driving a recreational vehicle with your family, you have parks where you can park, parques donde puedes aparcar, where you can park your recreational vehicle and stay there. Because it's not allowed in America to park recreational vehicles in the street. You have to park them in designated places. And those are RV centers. Okay, it's where you can park. Como tener un gran roulotte. You have to go. Al Parque de los Roulots. All right. And so that's an RV, recreational vehicle. Vehículo de recreo. All right. So Nigel Perkins has just formed a new company called AMY Limited. The initials stand for Atlantic and Mediterranean Yachting. The company hasn't started its activity yet. Es una compañía sin inicio todavía. The company hasn't started its activity yet. Su de ella, o de ello, la empresa. Its activity yet, because it doesn't own a single yacht. Ni un solo yate. No tenemos ni un solo yate. How are we going to, First you need a yacht before you can have a yachting company. For example, the Beatles said, first I have a chauffeur, I don't have a car. Pero ya tengo un conductor para mi coche. No tengo coche, pero ya tengo un conductor. Yeah. Beep, 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 yeah. Baby, you can drive my car. Suena. Yes, I'm gonna be. Puedes conducir mi coche porque voy a ser una estrella un día de estos. Baby, you can drive my car. Yes, I'm gonna be. Voy a ser. I am going to be. Baby, you can drive my car. Yes, I'm gonna be a star. Baby, you can drive my car. And baby, I love you. Do, 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 do. Beep, 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 beep. Yeah, beep, beep is dando el claxon. Beep, 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 yeah. I mean, I love that song. It's really cool. Very different type of song. All right? But in any case, and it's a good idea. Yeah. Voy a ser estrella. Necesito para el futuro, pero te contrato previamente para ser mi chauffeur. Okay. Because I'm going to become rich and famous, and I will need a chauffeur. So I'll hire you first. All right. So the company hasn't started its activity yet because it doesn't have a single yacht, or it doesn't own, no posee, it doesn't own a single yacht. Richard, do you own a yacht? No, I don't. Do you own a boat? Excuse me? Do you own a boat? Do you own a boat? Do you own a boat? ¿Posees un barco? ¿Una barca? ¿Un bote? Do you own a boat? Do you own a boat? No, I don't own a boat. Thank God. I don't want a boat. All right. Nigel, el padre otra vez, Nigel has sent Paul Schwartz. El rubio aquí es Paul Schwartz. Pablo. Paul Schwartz. Schwartz significa bosque, creo, en alemán o similar. I think. Schwartz. All right. Nigel has sent Paul Schwartz to Corsica to buy out the shares that the Turkey family owns in the company that his son Ronnie is trying to control. Okay. Nigel's son is trying to control the company, but he's losing control. Ronnie is losing control of the company because his partners son socios. His partners have own 50%, the Turkey family in Corsica, and they are planning to expand capital to buy 8 yachts. And Ronnie doesn't have 1.5 million euros because they need 3 million euros. So the Turkey family is going to put 3 million euros to expand the company and buy 8 new yachts. Toma. But of course, Ronnie, who owns the other 50%, can't match. Match is casar con the amount. And so he's going to lose his share. His shares are going to be diluted. Diluidos. All right, su participación. And so Nigel in London heard that his son was getting involved with a shady, with a strange family in Corsica, because a banker in Monte Carlo was aware of the transaction, and he spoke to a friend in the London offices of Barclays Bank, And that man knew Nigel personally and told him, Mr. Perkins, I believe your son is involved in a transaction that perhaps is not very recommendable. And Nigel said, well, what kind of transaction? Well, it seems that he has reached an agreement with a family in Corsica, the Turkey family, to create a company, to form a company for yachting. But this family is not very legitimate. It's a shady family. And it seems that your son has gotten in over his head. It seems that your son has gotten in, ha entrado por encima de su cabeza, se dice, o sea, se ha metido algo que no, muy por encima de lo que sus capacidades. He's gotten in over his head. So, Nigel sent Paul Schwartz to Corsica with $4 million to buy the company. Wow. And the Turkey family said, sure, it's yours. All right, eso dice aquí. Paul Schwartz, let's see. Nigel has sent, amandado. Nigel has sent Paul Schwartz to Corsica to buy out the shares. To buy is comprar. To buy out is comprar. What's the difference? Don't worry about it. Come on, what's the difference? I need to know the difference. Don't worry about it. Why? Cuando adquieres una empresa o una participación a otro, bueno, se dice buyout. To buy out the shares. Adquirir las acciones. Adquirir la compra. To buy out the company. Pero con to buy nos vale. El out is a sobra. To buy the company. To buy the shares. You don't need to say to buy out. You'll hear it, but you don't need to use it. To buy out the company. Donde estoy? I've lost my place, Marta. I don't know where I am. Okay. To buy out the shares that the Turkey family owns. So there is poseer. Owns. In the company. I've lost my place. That his son Ronnie is trying to control. Ronnie is trying to control the company. It's impossible. Paul Schwartz is authorized. Autorizado. Authorized. Paul Schwartz is authorized to offer the Turkey family $4 million for their 50% of the company. $4 million. Nigel is sure they'll sell out. Buy out, sell out. O sea, también they'll sell. El out de nuevo con sell, también sobra. But we usually say buy out and sell out when it's comprar una compañía o vender una compañía. Sell out. Yo vendo todas las acciones. I'm going to sell out. Somebody is going to buy out my company. But don't worry, I'm going to sell my company. Somebody's going to buy my company. Hasta me gusta más sin el out. All right. But you'll hear out a lot. So yes, to sell out. As it would represent a $2 million profit for the family. A $2 million profit. Beneficio 2 millones de golpe. A $2 million profit. $4 million, but the Turkey family has invested $2 million. So it's a $2 million net profit. Okay. They would have to be crazy to turn it down. The Turkey family would have to be. Esta gramática es donde lo que separa el trigo de la paja de la gente que habla inglés bien. No es buy out, sell out. No. It's would have to be. La familia Turkey tendría que ser loco, o estar loco, ¿no? Ya, tendría que estar loco para rechazar esta oferta. Would have to be. Now, to turn down is rechazar. Uy, turn down, qué importante. No. Would have to be is more important. 10 times more important. But you don't pay attention to that. You pay attention to turn down. To turn down, también nos vale reject, refuse. verbos fáciles de raíz latina. Rechazar, rehusar. To refuse, to reject. Pero siempre queréis apuntar y tratar de memorizar turn down. Y luego lo decís mal. Porque hay que meter el pronombre en medio, el pronombre de tres. ¿Cuándo? Un lío. Yes. And you never learn it. Yo nunca aprendo masculino y femenino. Antes decía los mates o las mates. No lo sé. La parte básica, you never. And the phrasal verbs, foreign people never master them. I've never met a single person who can speak, who learned English after puberty and uses phrasal verbs correctly. Only the easy ones. Look at, look for, listen to. Okay, eso sí. But the others no. To turn it down. Turn them down. Recházalos. Turn them down. Recházalo. Turn it down. Turn down the offer. Rechaza la oferta. Turn the offer down. ¿Pero dónde? ¿Lo meto en medio o lo meto en mes? Da igual si se dice oferta. Si dices lo o la, recházala en medio. Pero luego hay otros verbos que es después. Ya me cuál. It's impossible. Phrasal verbs are to be understood, not to be used by you. All right? So, Nigel was sure that they would sell out because they would have to be crazy. They would have to be crazy to turn it down, to reject it. All right. This way, Nigel can get Ronnie out of what could possibly end up being a dangerous business relationship. This way, de esta manera. This way, de esta manera, Nigel saca a Ronnie de un potencial lío. Nigel can get Ronnie out. Yeah. Oye, Ronnie, ¿qué haces ahí dentro? Ya está. Estos lápices no son de fiar. Ronnie. So to get Ronnie out. ¿Se entiende la idea? Out. All right. So this way, Nigel can get Ronnie out of what could possibly be, what could possibly end up being, lo que posiblemente podría terminar siendo, could end up being a dangerous business relationship. Dangerous business relationship. His son doesn't know anything yet. El Ronnie ni se ha enterado de toda esta movida. Menos mal. Okay. Ronnie doesn't know anything yet. Yeah. And Nigel doesn't intend to mention anything until he feels it's appropriate. Nigel doesn't intend to reveal anything, revelar, no. To mention. Nigel doesn't intend, no tiene intención de mencionar nada a Ronnie. Nigel doesn't intend to mention anything until he feels it's appropriate. Hasta que cree que es apropiado. El momento más apropiado. Until he feels. Fijaos cómo uso feel como pensar. Pensar con el corazón y la cabeza. Muchas veces usamos feel. Yo pienso que no es el momento ahora. I feel. O sea, yo siento que no es el momento. I feel. Se usa mucho feel como pensar. I feel it's not the right time. And Nigel feels that it's not the appropriate time now. Mientras tanto, in the meantime, he's hired the help of two wealthy friends. Dos amigos adinerados. Two wealthy friends. All right. Who are members of the British Yachting Association. All right. Asociación Británica de Vela. The British Yachting Association. Yes. They will contact Ronnie, estos dos amigos ricos. They will contact Ronnie in a couple of weeks to inform him of their purchase of the Turkey shares. Okay, wow. So Nigel, in his office in London, says, okay, Paul, go to Corsica, offer $4 million. Offer $4 million for the shares, for the 50% of the Turkey family. Yes. And he goes. He calls in, boss, deal is done. It's a deal. Good. And he calls, hey, Joey and Pete. Yeah, these are the two friends who are members of the British Yachting Association. Listen, I'm creating a company. I'm starting a company, AMY Limited, Atlantic and Mediterranean Yachting. I want you to be members of the company, and I want you to go to Monte Carlo to speak to my son and to tell him that you have bought out the company from the Turkey family, and that you own now the 50% that the Turkey family owned before. All right. So it's going to be a surprise for Ronnie in un par de semanas, in a couple of weeks. All right. They will contact Ronnie in a couple of weeks to inform him, etc., etc. Okay. They will make no mention, harán ninguna mención, o sea, no harán ninguna. They will make, fijaos, no tenemos doble negación en inglés. En español diríais, no van a hacer ninguna. Okay, they will make, harán ninguna. They will make no mention, no, N-E-O. They will make no mention of Nigel Perkins. And Ronnie will continue. Ronnie will stay on. Stay is permanecer, quedarse. To stay on is continuar. Ronnie will stay on as managing director. Consejero delegado, managing director of the company. And Paul Schwartz, el que fue a Córcega, and Paul Schwartz will join the organization as operations manager. Besides the $4 million, Nigel plans to pay the Turkey family, además de esa cantidad. Besides the $4 million, Nigel plans to pay the Turkey family to get them out of the way, quitarlos de en medio, to get them out of the way. Get out of the way. Quito de en medio, no me ven. Yeah, get out of the way. To get the Turkey family out of the way, he'll probably spend another $1 millón, 5 ya, organizing and staffing the new company. Estafeando. Eso que es staffing. El staff, ¿se dice aquí, no? El staff. Pues sí, existe un verbo. Dotar del personal necesario es to staff. Tenemos que estafear esta compañía nueva. We have to staff this new company. So, organizing and staffing the new company. He'll do everything from behind the scenes, entre bastidores. Lo hará todo entre bastidores. No se entera el chico. He'll do everything, Nigel, he'll do everything from behind the scenes. He's sure that Ronnie will eventually figure out who's behind the new partner. But by that time, the company should be running effectively. Yeah, Nigel is sure that his son will eventually figure out. To find out is enterarse de algo, o averiguar algo. To figure out is irse enterando por intuición y por juntar 2 más 2, que mira, tengo 4, ya claro, es que 2 más 2, claro. Se dice así, to put 2 and 2 together, is darte cuenta, banda. Pues sí, yeah. ¿Será mi padre quien está detrás de todo esto? Is my father behind all this? So Nigel is sure that Ronnie will eventually figure out that daddy is behind everything. Yeah. Papá. Gracias, papá. Bueno. But for the moment, he will be surprised when these 2 wealthy friends go to Monte Carlo and says, are you Ronnie Perkins? Well, Mr. Perkins, we are your new partners. What? We own 50% of the company. What do you mean? We have bought out the shares of the Turkey family in Corsica. So now we are your partners. However, we suggest to create a new company called AMY Limited. Okay, so that's the case. Interesting story. But the story of Ronnie Perkins isn't over yet. And the story of Nigel Perkins isn't over yet. I think we have 2 more episodes. Yeah. And the final, well, both episodes are very interesting. One episode involves a crime, I think. No, yo creo que ya hemos hecho eso, ¿no? Ya están en la cárcel, ¿no? La modelo. Is she, no. Just a second. Let me check if we have, I only have 1 minute left. I think we've already done that. Yeah, there's only 1 episode left. It's Ronnie Perkins, un ramo de flores, with a bouquet of flowers. Why? Well, you have to wait. Yes, you'll have to wait. Suspense. Ronnie Perkins. But in any case, I believe maybe the young man there is salvation for the young man. There is salvation for the young man. And is there salvation for your English? Of course there's salvation for your English. Por eso estoy aquí. That's why I'm here, to save you. See you tomorrow.